Hello all, I'm Sandeep Ligade, working as an assistant professor in A.G. Patil Institute of Technology. In mechatronics today we are going to discuss voltage and current amplifiers. Voltage amplifiers. In that we can design amplifier with the help of discrete components as well as integrated circuit, that is IC. With the help of IC also we can design. So in discrete component there are BJT, FET, that is junction field effect transistor, and MOSFET. Okay. So with the help of these components we can design amplifier, voltage amplifier, or you can say current amplifier, single stage, multi-stage, etc. So with the help of also IC we can design. We have taken example of op-amp 741. Okay, with the help of n number of ICs we can design, but we have taken example of 741 op-amp. So voltage amplifier, what exactly an amplifier is? Amplifier, it is an electronic circuit which increases the strength of weak signal. Basically we know we are dealing with n number of sensors, distance sensor, temperature sensors, weather sensor, etc. So that sensor, or you can say transducer, converts one form of energy into another form of energy. For example, temperature sensor converts your temperature into electrical voltage. When there is a change in the temperature, then our transducer, that is thermocouple or thermistor, senses that temperature and converts into the voltage. That voltage is very small. Okay, that voltage is it is in millivolt, or you can say microvolt. That's why to process that signal, okay, we need of certain electronic circuitry, and that electronic circuit, or you can say IC, requires minimum 5 volt. We can say it is a TTL voltage, right? Minimum 5 volt. So that millivolt to the voltage conversion is required. So for that purpose we are using amplifier. One more example we can discuss is suppose microphone. Okay, whatever the microphone that we are using to address the public is called as a PA, public address system. Okay, that microphone, when we talk, that sound energy is converted into the electrical energy. So that electrical energy or electrical current or voltage, it is in microampere or microvolt. That is again needed to amplify the signal, isn't it? So we have to connect amplifier, and at the output side we can connect loudspeaker. Okay, so over there we require amplifiers. So basically now we can see on the screen there is a circuit, that is a transistorized amplifier. Okay, single stage transistorized amplifier. It's also called as RC coupled amplifier. Okay, here we have used the component BJT, bipolar junction transistor, in self bias technique. Okay, there are different types of biasing technique: self bias or potential divider bias, or collector to base bias, or you can say base bias. Here we have used self bias technique because the stability of this amplifier in self bias is nearly equal to 1. So stability, there are n number of parameters that we need to focus on to design an amplifier, such as input impedance, output impedance, voltage gain, current gain, power gain, okay, its stability, bandwidth, okay, noise and distortion. These are the various parameters we have to focus to design a certain amplifiers. Okay, so the input impedance of an amplifier or any amplifier should be very high, because to avoid loading effect, and output impedance of an amplifier should be very low, because we need to connect n number of loads and the load impedance is very low. So to match the load, output impedance should be low of an amplifier. Okay, obviously gain and bandwidth should be high. Okay, noise and distortion should be low, right? In this fashion, and gain bandwidth product of an amplifier should be always constant to maintain a stability. Fine. So here in the circuit, R1, R2 act as a voltage divider, RC act as a collector biasing resistor. Okay, when we if you're not using this RC, so output voltage will be a 0, because when we short circuit it, so output voltage will be 0 in AC equivalent model. Fine. So RE is a emitter resistor. Okay, RE is emitter resistor for emitter stabilization. Okay, and also it provides degenerative effect, or we can say negative feedback. Okay, which stabilize the gain of an amplifier. Similarly, CE is the bypass capacitor, which is a high value of capacitor basically used to bypass the AC signal. Okay, and also it decides the lower cutoff frequency of an amplifier. Okay, and CB and one more capacitor is to be connected over here at the output side. Okay, so these both capacitors are basically used for coupling. Okay, or you can say for the DC isolation and for the impedance matching. Okay, DC isolation means what? Input voltage, whatever the input voltage or input signal that we can give over here. Okay, so it is a very small 10 millivolt peak. Fine. And here whatever the DC voltage that we have given, that is 10 volt and 10 millivolt. Okay, huge difference is there. And that to that again, this is DC. Okay, it is a biasing voltage and it is an input signal voltage. So when a DC current flows in this direction, okay, it may flow in this direction also. That's why this current may become dominating. To isolate that DC current to the AC current, okay, we have to use this capacitor. Okay, because capacitor blocks DC and passes AC. So whatever the DC current may flow from in this direction may block by this capacitor. Okay, and whatever the AC current is flowing from in this direction, okay, so capacitor may pass from in this path. Okay, so AC will be passed in this direction and DC will be blocked by this capacitor, act as a simple DC isolation. Okay, so for this circuit it acts as a simple single stage transistor as amplifier. When we give the input signal, okay, so this transistor amplifies that signal, because by applying the input signal a base current flows, and due to the base current it causes to flow a IC current, or you can say collector current, which is nothing but an output current. Okay, and that output current is depend upon the beta of this transistor. Okay, beta is nothing but a current gain of an amplifier, you can say, or transistor in common mode. So basically there are three modes of configuration: common emitter, common base, and common collector. So we have used here common emitter because in common emitter voltage gain and current gain are moderate, so that's why overall power gain is high. Okay, so in common collector voltage gain is nearly equal to unity and current gain is very high, but overall power gain is average, or you can say medium or low, very low, isn't it? And in common base basically alpha, that's the current gain, which is less than 1. Okay, and voltage gain is average, that's why overall power gain is less. Okay, in both cases this common emitter configuration, what happens is beta, that is the current gain, is high, voltage gain is also high, and overall power gain, if we see compared to common collector as well as common base, common emitter has a very high power gain. That's why usually we use common emitter configuration. Fine. So with the example we can see how the amplifier amplifies the current. Okay, for example, when input voltage is 10 millivolt, and if we select RC is equal to 5 kilo ohms and IB is equal to 20 microamperes, okay, due to the input voltage some base current may flow, that is we have taken example 20 microamperes, and the typical value of beta is 100. Okay, that we have selected. Okay, the range of the beta is 20 to 500 around, and typical value is 100. IC is equal to beta times IB, that we know the equation. Okay, so IC is equal to 100 multiplied by 20 microamperes gives 2 milliampere. Okay, so output voltage VO equation is VO is equal to IC into RC. Overall output voltage VO is equal to 2 milliampere multiplied by 5 kilo ohms, and final output voltage we get, that is 10 volt. Means input is 10 millivolt and output is amplified, that is 10 volt. Very drastic change. Okay, in this way the simple, that is transistor as amplifier amplifies the weak signal from 10 millivolt to 10 volt. Okay, based on the design. Okay, so a number of parameters are there while designing. We can select a gain. Okay, we can select input voltage, we can also decide the output voltage, and so on. In this way amplify works. So this is related to your voltage amplifier in discrete format. Okay, so we will move to the next one, that is IC, op amp. Okay, voltage amplifier using IC. Op amp operational amplifier. With the help of this op-amp, we can do n number of functions: addition, subtraction, multiplication, log, anti-log. So that's why the name has given op-amp, operational amplifier. Many operation can be done. So with the help of this op-amp, we can use two modes, that is inverting and non-inverting. Okay, so amplifier. So inverting and non-inverting. In this right now, whatever the circuit has been displayed on the screen, that is in non-inverting mode, because plus we have given the input to the non-inverting mode. So that's why it is a non-inverting mode. RF and R2 are the two resistors which can decide the gain of an amplifier. Okay, there are so many features of an op-amp, that is input impedance of the op-amp is infinite. Okay, means very high, ideally infinite, but practically it is around 2 mega ohms. Output impedance is 75 ohms, very small. Okay, and gain of an amplifier, if you see in open loop condition, it is around infinite, or you can say 2 lakh practically. Okay, very high gain. So that's why 741 op-amp, name itself indicates that is a mu A 741 op-amp. The thing is what, this amplifier or this 741 op-amp IC is able to amplify the current which is in microamperes. Okay, which is again not possible with the help of transistorized amplifier. So with the help of this 741 op-amp, we can able to amplify the currents which are in microamperes, very small. Okay, very small, less than the milliamperes. So that's why it is highly sensitive. Okay, that's why we are always prefer the IC, that is 741 op-amp amplifiers. The advantage of this one is what, it is an integrated circuit. That's why whatever the complex circuitry is there that we have seen earlier, all components are in discrete format in transistor. Okay, but in IC all circuitry it is integrated inside, so that's why it becomes compact in size. Okay, low power consumption, and operating voltage is also very small, that is 5 plus minus 3 volt to plus minus 18 volt. Practically it is plus minus 5 volt to plus minus 18 volt. Okay, which can decide plus Vsat and minus Vsat. Okay, so in this configuration we have used non-inverting mode. So these are the gain selector resistor. With the help of this, we have to give the input over here, and we can get output at this point. And the output voltage equation is given by V out is equal to 1 plus RF upon R2 into V in. So we can see over here, V out is equal to V in 1 plus RF upon R2. So these two decides the output voltage. Okay, so and V out divided by V in is nothing but the gain. Gain is nothing but output voltage divided by the input voltage. Okay, so in this pattern we can amplify the signal, and also op-amp can be used also in inverting mode also. In non-inverting, whatever the input signal that we give, output amplified signal, both are in phase. Input and output both are in phase. That's what is called as non-inverting. And in inverting mode, whatever the input signal that we give, we get inverted output voltage, means 180 degree out of phase. And the gain of an amplifier is decided by the RF and RIN resistors. Okay, which is shown in the circuit diagram. Okay, so VO is equal to minus RF upon RIN into V in. So this minus indicates phase reversal. It is not a negative one. Okay, it indicates the phase reversal. Whatever the input voltage is there on input side, waveform is there, output we get 180 degree out of phase. That's why the minus has been given over here. Okay, so in inverting mode and non-inverting mode. Moving to the next point, that is current amplifier. Very important thing. Now that whatever the parameter that we have seen, okay, we have amplified the voltage, which is nothing but amplitude. But here the factor is what? Current. Okay, so again the point comes when the sensor senses the signal, okay, or external parameter, it converts that into the electrical current or voltage, any sensor. Okay, that is very small, millivolt or microvolt. And later on what we can do is we have to amplify, okay, the voltage. Okay, at the prior stage we have to amplify the signal, because that signal is to be fed to the microcontroller or microprocessor for the further processing, and that it requires minimum 5 volt. Okay, 5 volt, that is TTO voltage. For that purpose we need to connect a signal conditioner amplifier. So whatever we have studied earlier. So later on what happens is, after when the microcontroller receives the signal from the sensor, okay, it has to do certain task. For example, when temperature sensor senses the temperature, okay, now it has to turn on the AC, air condition, suppose, from the room. If you take an example that in a room we have to maintain a temperature, and when temperature increases of the room, then we have to turn on AC, and when temperature decreases we have to turn off AC. Simple. So we have to connect the temperature sensor over there. So when we set a cutoff, that is 20 degrees centigrade, or you can say 21 degrees centigrade, something like that. When temperature crosses the 21 degrees centigrade, what is our basic requirement? Our AC should turn on, isn't it? So in that case what happens is, temperature sensor senses, and that signal is given to the microcontroller. Now microcontroller has to give a signal to the air condition, but air condition operates on very high voltage, that is 230 volt AC, and also 1 to 2 amperes of current. Fine. So that's why microcontroller works on 5 volt, and whatever the output current is generated by the microcontroller, it is in milliamperes. Okay, so that's why here the output voltage is 5 volt of the microcontroller, but and also current is also very small. So to operate air condition, okay, we need to connect a relay which can operate. It is an electromechanical device which can switch on and off, okay, accordingly. But to operate a relay, again the current requirement is high. For that purpose we need to connect a driver circuit, or you can say current amplifier circuitry. Okay. Here's the part comes the current. Fine. Current amplifier amplifies the current step by step. We can see over here diagram. Transistorize again. Here the transistorize, two transistors we have used. Okay, when we give the input, here it is an NPN transistor, and this is PNP transistor. For this NPN transistor, when we give the input current, okay, the current gain of this transistor is beta 1, and current gain of transistor 2 is beta 2, and current gain is nothing but the output current divided by input current. This, whatever the input current we give, it generates the output current, that is IC, and that amplified current is given as input to this Q2. Again this is amplified with the help of transistor Q2, okay, and that is given to the output side. Over here the amplification of current is decided by the gain of an amplifier, that is beta, okay, the beta factor. Fine. So IC is equal to whatever the current is generated at this point, that is Q1. IC is equal to beta times IB. Fine. Beta times IB. So the output current is the product of input current and the gain. Overall, whatever the current we get over here, output current, that is the product of current gains and input current. Okay. If we divide this input current over here, so output current divided by input current is nothing but the beta, which is the overall current gain of this amplifier. Here the only one factor is what we are focusing or concentrating on, only current, not on voltage. Fine. One more example that we can see over here, Darlington pair, that is NPN Darlington pair and PNP Darlington pair. Okay, here the thing is what, the collector are short circuited, and whatever the output current is generated, it is given input to the next stage. Fine. And the same case in PNP transistors. Okay, so here the thing is what one more thing that we can see in voltage amplifier, whatever the transistor we have used, that was a single transistor, and here whatever the transistor we have used, it is a transistor in Darlington pair, means the current capability of this transistor has been increased, okay, in this fashion, okay, by this connection. Whatever the current capability was there in voltage amplifier, so we can see over here in discrete only we have used here single transistor. Okay, suppose if we take the example, the beta of this transistor is simply 100. if we use the two transistor in Darlington pair, so it becomes beta multiplied by beta, that is 100 multiplied by 100 means 10,000, means the current capacity of this transistor has been increased in Darlington pair. Okay, so here is the Darlington pair. Fine. So when we give the input current to this base, okay, it generates output current. Here is the collector current. The same collector current may flow at the emitter, means IC is equal to IE. Okay, and the same IE is flowing as a base current to the transistor Q2, and which generates the output current, that is IC2. Then IC2 is nearly equal to IE2. Here comes the final output current. Okay, let us take one example how the final output current is getting multiplied. Okay, final output current is the product of current gains and input current, that we can see. Means we have to prove this one. Okay, by certain example we will prove this equation. Okay, see here a current amplifier example. Now same example that we have taken. Okay, IB1, whatever the input current that we give over here, that is called as IB1. So IB1 causes IC1. Okay, because as we know IC is equal to beta times IB. Okay, so that's why when we give the input current, it causes the collector current. Okay, that collector current is nearly equal to the emitter current, and that emitter current is act as an input to the Q2, which is also called as IB2. See, IC1 is equal to IB2, and IB2 causes IC2. When we give the input current at this point, okay, it generates output current, that is IC2, that is IB2 causes IC2. Fine. Next, beta is nothing but the current gain of transistor Q1. So output current divided by input current. Input current is IB1, output current is IC1. So beta 1 is equal to IC1 divided by IB1. Similarly, beta 2 is nothing but IC2 divided by IC1, because this IC1 is nearly equal to IE1, and IE1 is nothing but an IC1. So IC1 act as an input and IC2 act as an output. So beta 2 is nothing but IC2 divided by IC1. Okay, similarly, now what we have to do is overall current gain of this amplifier, means output current divided by input current. Beta is equal to output current is nothing but IC2, and input current is nothing but IB1, which is nothing but an IIN that we have given, IIN. Okay, IIN is equal to IB1, same to same, right? So beta, output current divided by input current. Okay, and here we have divided and multiplied by IC1. Okay, IC1 divided by IC1. Okay, and rearranging this equation we get, okay, IC1 divided by IB1 and IC2 divided by IC1. Why it is so? Because for transistor Q1, output current is IC1, input current is IB1. So this is beta 1. And for transistor Q2, output current is IC2 and input current is IC1, that is beta 2. Hence the overall current gain is nothing but beta is equal to beta 1 multiplied by beta 2. Okay, in this fashion, and beta is nothing but simply beta is nothing but your IC2 divided by IIN, or you can say IB1. Okay, when we put over here this equation over here, so IC2 is equal to beta 1 multiplied by beta 2 multiplied by IB1 or IIN. In this fashion, current is getting amplified. Okay, with this I would say thank you very much.